Croeso pawb to the Tokyo Gameshow 2025 and games at a £15 PSN sale. As you can hear, I'm dying, but PSN sales don't wait for no man. And as usual, I've done all the hard work and looked through the whole sale for you. So if you like finding cool new games to play and saving a lot of money along the way, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe. You're welcome here anytime. Now this sale ends on the 8th of October, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up, we have After Us. It was released in 2023, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £6.24, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty great deal. Now this game's a PS5 exclusive, so if you don't have a PS5, you can't play it. In this adventure platformer, you get to play as Gaia, the spirit of life, as you explore a lifeless Earth, as you work to salvage the souls of extinct animals, while surviving encounters with devourers to restore life to Earth. It features an emotional story, and puzzles to solve along the way. Now I'm a big fan of puzzle platform adventure games, and it's unusual to see one that's fully 3D. Most of them are 2D side-scrolling, so it's nice to see something with a bit more budget and production value to it. Now these games may not be the most exciting games around, but hey, if you like a cool adventure and a bit of puzzling, then you'll probably really enjoy this. They're usually really fun and interesting, and this looks like a pretty good game from the genre. So if you love adventure platformers like I do, then why not take a look at this game? It may not be the most well-known game around, but it looks like a really good game for a really decent price. So why not take a look if you like the sound of it? And hey, if you've never played an adventure platformer before, then I'm not sure I'd recommend starting here. It's a good game at a reasonable price, but you can get other, bigger, legendary games for less than this as well. So you're probably better off starting one of them instead. But hey, if you really like the look of this one, then check it out. It's not a bad game. But if you'd rather wait for one of the others, then don't worry. Subscribe, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. Alice Gear Aegis Concerto of Symbol Tricks is our next game. It was released in 2023, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £2.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this arena fighter, Vice has taken control of your world, and a group of actresses wielding special battle armor train in simulations honing their strength in the hope of taking your world back. It features visual novel elements and character customization as well. Now you don't see a lot of arena fighters these days, so it's nice to see another game from this genre. It's basically a fighting game, but instead of fighting right up against each other, you have a little level to fight in, which may only be a small change, but it makes the gameplay a lot different, and it's a completely different gameplay experience, which is really cool. It's a fun way to play a fighting game, that's for sure. And it's pretty unique to have visual novel elements as well, so it's a cool idea and a cool mixture of genres. So if you're a fan of visual novels, and you like arena fighters, then this might be the perfect combo for you. It's a really cool and interesting anime game, and if you're into these genres, then I think you'll really enjoy it. And at this price, you can't go far wrong really, so if you like the sound of it, definitely take a look. And hey, if you've never played an arena fighter before, then you could start here. It's a really decent game with an interesting blend of genres for a really low price, so you can't ask for much more really. If you like the look of this game or you've always been tempted by this genre, then why not check it out? It might just be a lot of fun if you pick it up. We have a dungeon crawler next. Demon Gaze Extra. It was released in 2022, so it's 3 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £9.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal, especially as this version has improved graphics and gameplay experience as well. Plus there's also a premium edition, but it only includes in-game items and the soundtrack, which I don't usually care about, but hey, if you want that, you'll have to wait for that version to come on sale instead. In this game you get to become a bounty hunter with the ability to take on demons and steal their abilities to use them against them, and you also get to summon demons to fight alongside you as you explore a series of labyrinths across Misrid. Just be careful game, because Pokemon's on a rampage lately and they might just sue you for this gameplay. With the crazy lawsuits they've been filing lately, it just might be a gameplay Armageddon in the future. But hey, assuming Nintendo get their head out of their butt, this game will still be around for you to buy in future, which is great because it looks like a really good game with some interesting ideas, and you also don't see many dungeon crawlers these days. It's a very niche genre and it's pretty old school as well, so it's nice to see ones around for people to play who like this genre. So hey, if you're a fan of dungeon crawlers and you like the sound of this game, why not take a look at it? It's a pretty old school game, but if you're into this sort of thing, you'll really enjoy it. So why not check it out if you like the look of it? And hey, if you've never played a dungeon crawler before, which isn't surprising because it's pretty old school and rare these days, then you could start here. It's not the cheapest game around, but it's a very rare genre and you don't have many options. And this looks like a pretty good game at a not bad price. So if you've always been tempted by this genre, why not take a look at it? Now there are a couple of other options you have, and they do get cheaper than this sometimes, so if you're willing to wait a while, you can pick up another game cheaper than this. So it's up to you really. If you'd like to wait, don't forget to subscribe, or if not, check this game out instead. Up next we have Ginga Force. It was released in 2020, so it's 5 years old, and it's on at least a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59 or 79 pence with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a cool looking game. In this vertical scrolling shooter, you follow two exceptional pilots as they use powerful mechas to fight over the rare resource Septonium across the planet Saventia. It features a 10-stage story mode, weapon customization, deadly bosses, score attack mode, and online leaderboards as well, which is really cool. If you love these games and like playing them to get better scores, you'll really enjoy this game. I'm glad that they added online leaderboards. It'll make a world of difference to this sort of game, especially for those old school arcade vibes, which is really cool. Now these days you don't see a lot of scrolling shooters, so it's nice to see some modern ones with some pretty decent graphics at a reasonable price as well. This game's got great reviews, and it's a bit of a series with spin-offs as well, so you know it's pretty good if it's been around a while and there's multiple games. So if you're a fan of this genre, or you love arcade games from back in the day, then why not check this out? It's a blast from the past with some modern mechanics and gameplay, and it just looks like a really decent game with some cool ideas. So why not check it out if you like the sound of it? It's a really cool game. And hey, if you've never played a vertical scrolling shooter before, then you could definitely start here. It's a modern, decent quality game at a really low price, so you can't ask for much more really. If you're a fan of the old arcades, or you've always been tempted to try this genre, then definitely check it out. I think you'll have a lot of fun if you give it a chance. Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth is our next game. It was released in 2017, so it's 8 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is a really great deal. This story-driven adventure is based on the best-selling book, where you get to play through the events surrounding the building of a cathedral in 12th century England, with your decisions changing the story from the book, allowing you to experience multiple different endings, which is really cool, especially if you're a fan of the book. Then I bet it's really entertaining to play this game and get to see different outcomes or versions of the story played out by your decisions. I think that's a really cool idea, and maybe they should do more of that for books. So if you're a fan of Ken Follett and the book, or you just really like story-driven adventures, this is a really good quality game at a low price with a great licensing and some really good quality. So if you're a fan of this genre and you haven't played this game before, then definitely take a look at it. It might just be the best game you've played in ages. And hey, if you've never played a story-driven adventure before, then you could definitely start here. It's a really good quality game based on a really good book at a really low price, so you can't ask for much more really. If you've always been tempted by this genre, or you really like the look of this game, then definitely check it out. At this price, I think you're getting a lot for your money, so why not pick it up if you like the sound of it. We have a LEGO game next, LEGO Marvel Collection. It was released in 2019, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 87% discount for the low price of £6.49, which is a really great deal, as this collection includes 3 full games of LEGO Avengers, LEGO Marvel Superheroes, and LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, with all of the DLC for all 3 games, which is really good. You're getting the best version of 3 games for one really low price, which is great. In these action platformers, you get to play as a huge roster of Marvel heroes and villains as you play storylines from the movies and unique stories just for the games. It features up to 4-player local multiplayer and new battle and challenge modes to play with friends and family as well, which is great. It makes them really good games to play with friends or family. They're just a lot of fun. It's a shame there's no online multiplayer, but hey, at least it's 4-player local, which is really good. I wish more games would have local multiplayer. It's that old school vibe that a lot of games are missing, and it makes them really good for parties and family gameplay, which is cool. So if you're a fan of LEGO games, there's a huge amount of franchises they have, so you got a lot to choose from. Basically pick up the one that you like the franchise of. So if you're a big fan of Avengers and LEGO, then take a look at this collection. You're getting a lot of game for your money, and they're all really good, so definitely take a look if you're a fan of the series and Avengers. I'm sure you'll have a great time with these. And hey, if you've never played an action platform before, then you could start here. Like I said, it depends on the franchise. If you're a fan of the Avengers and LEGO, then definitely take a look at this. But if not, LEGO have a ton of other franchises in their game series, so you have a load to choose from. And outside of that, there's a load of other games in this genre as well, so you have so many games to choose from. If you're not that tempted by this one, you've got plenty of options. Don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. Up next is my star buy, Mortal Kombat XL. It was released in 2016, so it's 9 years old, and it's on an 88% discount for the low price of £4.79, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as the XL version includes 9 extra characters of Alien, yes that Alien, Predator, yep that Predator, Leatherface, that one, Jason Voorhees from those movies, Goro, Tanya, Tremor, Triborg, Boraicho, and skin packs as well. So you're getting a load of extra movie characters, plus extra Mortal Kombat characters, and some other content as well, which is amazing. You're getting the complete version of the game with a load of extra content included for one good price, which is really cool. In this fighter, you get to play the complete version of Mortal Kombat 10 with all of their characters and DLC, with a great story mode and tons of movie characters to play as this is one of the best Mortal Kombat games ever released. Now, Mortal Kombat's been quite popular lately, and a lot of the modern ones are really well thought of, and people seem to really enjoy them. Quite a few of them come on sale as well, so realistically what you're looking at is, have you played it before, and what are the extra characters included? Because they're all pretty good games, so you're better off picking the one that interests you the most. So if you're a fan of fighting games and you like Mortal Kombat, and you're a fan of the extra movie characters included in this, like the Alien and Predator, or those sorts of characters, then there's a lot of fun in this series. Like I said, it's my star buy. It's well worth your time and money, I promise. I mean, it's a legendary fighting series. You can't go wrong, really. If you haven't played this one, and used to play the old school ones, then why not check out the modern series? It's a really good game with a lot included. Definitely check it out. And hey, if you've never played a fighter before, then you could start here. It's a really good game from a legendary series with a load of extra content included for a really good price. So you can't ask for much more, really. Pretty much the only reason I say not to pick this up is if you're not a fan of Mortal Kombat, or you're not interested in the extra characters, in which case there's other Mortal Kombat games to pick from, and there's plenty more fighter games as well. But don't worry, I'll let you know when they're on sale next, so don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss out. We have a racing game next, MotoGP 22, PS4 and PS5. It was released in 2022, so it's 3 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £3.74, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, especially for a game of this quality. In this racer, you get to play the entire 2022 season with more than 120 riders, over 20 official circuits, and over 70 historic champions to relive the history of MotoGP with, which is really cool. These games aren't for everyone, but if you're a fan of MotoGP, they're really good. People seem to really enjoy them, and I can see why, because they seem to include a lot of content and a lot of extra stuff as well. The historic champions that you get to relive seem like a really cool idea, and I wish more games would be this inventive rather than just iterating on last year's game. So hey, if you're a fan of MotoGP, or you just like racing games and you want to try a bike game, then why not take a look at this? If you're a fan of the official stuff, you'll really enjoy it, and it may be a bit older, but it's really cheap and has a lot of content included. So you can't ask for much more, really. If you like the look of it, definitely check it out. I think it's a really good game, and there's a lot of fun to be had, especially at this price. And hey, if you've never played a racer before, then you could start here. If you're into MotoGP, or you're tempted by a bike racer, you're getting a good game for a really low price with this one. But hey, if you're not into it, don't worry. There'll be plenty more games for you to choose from in future sales instead. We have another scrolling shooter next, Natsuki Chronicles. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on at least a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59 or 79 pence for PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this side-scrolling shooter, you get to play as expert pilot Natsuki and discover the story of her past as a rookie pilot as you fight across the past and the present. It features over 10 stages in story mode, arcade mode with online leaderboards, and weapon customization as well, which is really cool. I think arcade games really benefit from online leaderboards, so it's really nice that they include that. It gives you that old school arcade vibes where you try to one-up other people's scores on the machine, which is really cool. And it's from a series of games that seem to be doing pretty well and are pretty popular, and they're at really low prices as well. So if you're a fan of side-scrolling shooters or old-school arcade games, definitely check this out. It's a blast from the past, but I think it's a really good game at a really low price. You can't ask for much more, really. If you're tempted, why not take a look? And hey, if you've never played a side-scrolling shooter before, then you could start here. It's a really decent modern game at a really low price, which is really good. So if you're tempted by this genre, or you really like the look of this game, definitely take a look at it. It might just be the best game you've played in ages. We have a visual novel next, Raging Loop. It was released in 2019, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £2.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. This game is set in a secluded Japanese village where a heavy mist prevents anyone from leaving, and the feast has begun as ancient gods have returned to hunt the trapped villagers, and it's your only hope of survival is to escape before it's too late. Now, visual novels aren't for everyone. They're basically books, but in game format with a lot of reading, but hey, they usually have pretty good stories and some unique and interesting ideas as well. So if you're a fan of visual novels, or you're okay with reading a lot of text, then there's a lot of fun to be had with some of these games. Some of the stories can be really cool, and it can just be a really fun time. So if you're not put off by the fact it's a visual novel, or you're into visual novels in general, and you haven't played this game, then why not check this out? Usually they're a lot more expensive than this, so you're getting a really good deal here. Why not take a look if you're tempted? And hey, if you've never played a visual novel before, then you could start here. It looks like a pretty good game for a really low price. A lot of the time visual novels are pretty pricey, and you don't see them on huge discounts either. So it's nice to see one of them getting this cheap, especially when it looks like a pretty good game. So if you've always been tempted by the genre, or you're not put off by it and you like games that are a bit different, then why not take a look at this? You might have a lot of fun if you give it a chance. Oh look, another visual novel, but with a dating sim in it this time, Roommates. It was released in 2020, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this game you get to play as either Max or Anne, as they make their way through their first year of college, living with 4 roommates as you pick your job, classes, and try to deal with life while dating to try and find your true love. Now, like I said, visual novels aren't for everyone, but hey, this one's got a dating sim rolled in with it as well. So there's a lot of reading and it's story based, but you also get to date people, which is a nice mix of genres. I think people that like visual novels will probably like dating sims as well, and vice versa. So if you're a fan of those genres, or one of them, and you fancy trying something a bit different, why not take a look at this game? It's not for everyone, but hey, dating sims can be really fun, and it gives you extra motivation to read all of the text in this visual novel. So if you're a fan of these sorts of games, definitely take a look. I think it's an interesting mix of genres, and for people that suits this game, they'll have a lot of fun with it. So definitely take a look if you like the sound of it. And hey, if you never played a visual novel dating sim before, because that's quite a rare genre, then you could definitely start here. It looks like a pretty good game for a really low price, and these game genres are usually pretty pricey, so to get a unique mix of both this cheap is pretty cool. So if you've always been tempted by one or both of these genres, or you just really like the look of this game, then why not pick it up? It'll definitely be different, and you might just find your new favourite genre. State of Mind is our next game. It was released in 2018, so it's 7 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is really great. This adventure game is set in Berlin 2048, where resources are low, pollution and illness is rampant, crime is rising, and technological salvation is promised by companies and the government. But after an explosion, your wife and son are missing, and now you must find the truth behind everything. I'm surprised I never heard more about this game. It seems like a pretty high production game with a pretty cool and interesting story. I've never heard of it before I started covering it in these videos, and it just seems like a really cool game with good ideas and pretty decent production. So if you're a fan of adventure games, especially mystery or investigation games based around conspiracy theories or political intrigue, then you'll probably really enjoy this game. It's not going to be for everyone, but hey, if you're into these sorts of things at this price, you're getting a game that you'll probably have a lot of fun with. So if you like these sorts of stories or you just like the look of this game, then why not take a look at it? If this is the sort of game that intrigues you or that you enjoy, you'll probably have a great time with this, especially at this price. So why not check it out if you like the sound of it? And hey, if you've never played an adventure game before, then you could start here if you're into the sort of conspiracy theory, political intrigue sort of story. It's a really decent game at a low price, and you'll definitely get your money's worth. So if that's you, then why not check it out? But if not, don't worry, there's plenty more games for you to choose from in future sales instead. And the final game I have for you is White Shadows. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on at least an 85% discount for the price of £2.39 or £1.59 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really decent deal. In this puzzle platformer, you get to play as a little raven girl trying to escape a brutal dystopia founded on oppression and violence by exploring a vast network of towers within a city to discover her destiny among the last 3 people alive. Now this game's art style looks really cool and striking. It's very black and white, and it reminds me a lot of Limbo and games like that were really popular at one point. Now this looks like a really cool puzzle platformer with an intrigue and an interesting world to explore, and the art style's definitely striking and interesting. So if you're a fan of puzzle platformers like I am, then why not take a look at this? It looks like a really good high quality, good production value game at a really low price, so you can't ask for much more really. If you're a fan of this genre, then take a look at this game. I think you'll have a lot of fun if you pick it up, and fans of this genre will probably really enjoy it. Especially at this price, you can't ask for much more really. Definitely take a look if you're interested. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle platform before, then you could definitely start here. It looks like a really cool game for a pretty low price. But you do have other bigger AAA legendary games for about the same price as well, so you definitely could start with one of them instead if you wanted to. But hey, if you really like the look of this one, then check this game out. But if not, there'll be plenty more options for you to choose from in the future, so don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss out when they come on sale next. And that's all the games I have for the Tokyo Game Show 2025 and games under £15 PSN sales. Now I'm probably going to go and curl up in the corner and wait for this to die over. Hopefully by the next video I won't be dying anymore. And hey, what did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the Star Buy? Did it deserve it? Or should some other game have got it instead? Leave all your comments below and we could talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you found some really cool games to play, but more importantly I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale, if I'm still alive. Hoil Vour.